Yo. Big salute. Boy, let's get back to it. Take my hat off. Let's get back to it. Ooh, this thing getting juicy, you hear me? Juicy. Let me fix my camera right for y'all. Make sure y'all get a good. Man, this little thing here. I'm gonna use a teacup. Yeah, sturdy hold back. Yeah, let's get back to it. And once again, my Israelite brothers, y'all forgive me. But if y'all don't agree with it, hey, just gotta do your research, see if it's true. Gotta do your research. Okay, knowledge. Let's continue. There were denied the knowledge certain aspects of the mind and body. The denial of knowledge, he said, guaranteed that there would always be peace. He asserted that the peace that come from this form of suitable oppression was not a true peace. He had the knowledge. He told them that if revealed would upset this peace and expose its weakness. Ooh. The majority of the people, when they heard, Hold on, y'all. My bad. Alright. The majority of the people, when they heard this new teaching, turned their backs on Yaqub and Matesi. They replied, "What do we want with a teaching that will replace peace with chaos, goodness with evil? We are not interested in such a teaching. We are perfectly satisfied with the teachings of our ancestors that the elders gave to us as a free gift." Damn, cuz. I might call you back, cuz. What do we want with a teaching? Hold on. Let me tell cuz. I'll call him back. Hey, cuz. Look, y'all, my cousin Dave. What up, fool? Boy, up here on the rooftop. Boy, y'all already know. Up here with the birds. You feel me? Hey, I'm gonna hit you right back, though. Let me hit you right back.
All right, bro.
All right. Man, my bad, y'all. Okay, we back on our spot. At least we ain't gotta find what page we was on. Real bro, look, there you go, real bro. They came over here and check on me. I told him I'll be on the rooftop. There you go. I'm on the rooftop making a quick little video. I had to hit it for up here on top of the world.
Nigga, how you got up here? Nigga, they let you go ass up here?
Got the
And
little.
you be putting your camera right up by the edge. Nigga, you better scoot that motherfucker.
Yeah. I got that boy. I was just saying because the wind blew and that boy out there.
Man, that motherfucker gonna fly. Who you got on there? Where you at, on Facebook, Instagram?
Nah, just making a video.
Oh, you making a video?
Yeah,
okay.
pre-record.
Pre-record. Let me grab one more. Yeah. Man, I didn't know that nigga need to come up here.
Yeah, when they come, they got all they cleaning stuff up here. So when they be mopping and shit.
Oh, they come clean?
Yeah, she leave it open.
Oh, this fire. This fire than the motherfucker.
Yeah, Madam Cat.
Which one? She be working.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what she is, but she be with, but this they little duck off spot for the boss.
Nigga, I need to be coming up here to do some work.
I told him to get the skyline. I don't know why Corinne come up here and get the skyline. I said, well, you got the big boy camera too. I said, I know you can zoom in on that thing and get that thing right.
Shit, I need to damn near tell them I need to set up an office up here.
Word up, bro.
This little desk, but they ain't got no plug though. I was gonna say, cause I want to see the sun. Nigga, I want to feel this shit right here.
Yup.
Being in that house all day, nigga, I know.
Man.
And they got something like this.
dog. This is tables and chairs up here.
Man,
Be up here, kick back.
listen. I'm just working out.
Yeah.
I got you.
Got to, big bro.
I want to chill outside.
Oh yeah, we still on. My bad, y'all. Hold on, let's get back. Yeah, we up on the rooftops because like I told you, they be leaving it locked at night. So yeah, we can get up here, boy. This the spot. This the chill spot right here. On the rooftop, let me get away from the edge, boy. 'Cause the wind blow hard, boy. Phone gone. Y'all gonna be done jumped off the roof on me. Okay. Let's get back. The majority of the people, when they heard this new teaching, turned their backs on Yaqub and Macy. They replied, "What do we want with a teaching that will replace peace with chaos, goodness with evil? We are not interested in such a teaching. We are perfectly satisfied with the teachings of our ancestors that the elders gave to us as free gift out of their own love. If indeed there are things that must be prevented from manifesting in order to guarantee our peace and the peace of our descendants, then we have no qualms with their prevention." Qualms, Qualms, qualms with their prevention. But there were a few who were curious. They asked him, "What are the things that you say are hidden in our minds and bodies that, if allowed to come out, would disturb our peace? We are certainly curious to know, and will follow you to find out." When the number of people who followed them had reached 60,000, Yaqub and Macy took them to the island of Pelon, aka Patmos. The first child to be born on the island was a dark brown boy. He was born to Yaqub and Macy when she was 16 years old and he was 18, about 2 years after their arrival. Although the child was very dark brown, his skin was still a contrast to the skin of his parents, who were pitch black in color. Ooh, they was pitch black. Ooh. Now, to understand the answer to your question about why Yahweh and the Elohim went to Sirius, put yourself in the place of Yahweh as he was growing up. He was called Yaqub. That's it, was his nickname. No. That his name was Yaqub, but it meant the big-headed. Boy, we done had nicknames since ancient times. We've been getting nicknames. Boy, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. He had a large brain, and all of it was occupied with bringing mischief to the world. Imagine being the very first person to bring murder and mayhem, violence and hatred to the whole world. In fact, not just the world, but the whole universe. Imagine being the very first one to do this. Your mind has to be completely saturated with this thought, and your determination be at such a high pitch where you hardly think of anything else. You are born into a world of love and peace, where sin, murder, and violence are completely unknown. You must bring these things into the world for the very first time. What must the people think of you? Ooh, what do the people think about them? They think no less than that you are Satan, the evil scientist. That's exactly what they called him, the evil scientist, who will bring death and mayhem and totally destroy our peace. And what do you think is going on in his mind when he hears all this talk about him? Since he was determined, nothing could sway him from his mission. It was his destiny. He can only think, well, if your peace can be destroyed, then it's not worth much. It should be destroyed. Ooh, boy, Yaqub was cold-blooded, boy. Ooh, it was cold-blooded. With a mind like that, he could not concern himself too much with love and peace, especially during his early manhood when he began to recruit his followers. Perhaps in time, when he matured to be an older man, he would grow wise and realize that nothing can surpass or supplant the peace and love of God, which is eternal. But there was no guarantee that he would reach such a level of wisdom given the nature of his mission. Now, in all honesty, Yaqub was not an evil man. He was a very determined man. He had determined in his mind to test the love of God. He concluded that the reason people lived in love and peace and knew nothing else other than love and peace was because they had never been exposed to evil and ignorance. He reasoned to his followers and convinced them. Oh boy, my hat was on. Put my hat back on. Boy, hat almost flew off. And convinced them that if they could be exposed to sin and error, the nature of evil itself would overpower the nature of good. He told his followers that the leaders were surely afraid of evil and would do anything and everything in their power to make sure that evil never rears its ugly head on earth. He said that they used their power as full gods to suppress the emergence of evil because they were afraid of its power. He claimed that if given a chance, evil could overcome good, and he concluded if that is the case, then evil, not good, is the true nature of God. And if the elders truly knew that not to be the case, then why will they not let evil come into the world so that good can prove itself? This was a very convincing and logical argument, and it gained him enough followers that he was able to launch his mission. Of course, there were many, many more who opposed him than those who followed him. But he had the minimum number of 60,000 volunteers that was necessary to begin that which was his destiny. Woo, man. Even though Yaqub berated the leaders, they remained totally neutral to his teachings. Yaqub did not know he was a child of destiny, but the elders knew. They knew every detail of his mission and had even prepared the road for him over the previous 44,000 years before he was born. He knew nothing of this at the time. This was how it should be because his determination was completely genuine and honest. Okay, remember that even though the lives of all people on earth are ruled by destiny, they are nonetheless genuine and brand new. The newborn people themselves know nothing of their destiny. As soon as a soul is conceived, he or she is separated from the knowledge of the elders, who are the only ones who know the destiny of every soul. To them, the future is history, but to the souls themselves, life is pure and brand new, totally and completely genuine. Hence, when the thought of evil ran through Yaqub's mind, to him they were original thoughts, genuine and unpretentious, and were being formulated for the first time in the mind of any man. So he was the first man to think of evil. Oh man. The elders, on the other hand, are the accumulation of perfection. They have reached a level of peace that Jesus described as the peace that passeth understanding. There is nothing on earth that can disturb their peace. Hence, they were able to take Yaqub's rebellion in stride. Like he wasn't nothing, and were not in the least ruffled by it. They know the end from the beginning. When it is said that there was a war in heaven between good and evil, this war did not involve a God at all. God, in the person of the 24 elders, is always above the tension of opposites. God is the reconciliation of opposites. So we have heard of how the story of Yaqub was depicted in ancient literature as the war between God and his rebellious angels, led by the evil Satan, and that God cast the rebels out of heaven. It is true that the elders cast Yaqub out of their society and banished him to the island, but the reason for it is not that God was angry at him. They did it so he could go about his mission undisturbed. There was just too much opposition from the ordinary citizens of heaven, the peaceful society, that Yaqub could not have succeeded had he tried to establish his ideas in their midst. The best alternative was to cast him out of heaven and banish him to the island of Pelan, aka Patmos, where he could carry on with total authority and with the full loyalty of his followers. This background information will help you put yourself in his place and to imagine his state of mind and his determination to do the undoable. His willpower to achieve that which had not been achieved throughout all past eternity. Boy, that's some real shit. Is we still recording? Oh yeah. Such a state of mind can do no other than unfold a great sense of power in the person. Here he is, poised to overcome that which all people and all gods throughout eternity have maintained is the unassailable and true and only state which God can exist forever, i.e., the state of goodness. He is certain that he is about to overcome goodness with evil and show the whole universe that goodness, love, and peace are weak in the face of sin, evil, and turmoil. Imagine such a mind. Ooh, cold-blooded, boy. Cold-blooded, straight cutthroat. Ooh. Man, come to think about it, one point in time, I used to think like that. Yeah, it was one point in time I used to think like that. So I guess that's why they say you got to want to change. The spider. Also, bear in mind that he had this type of mind all his life. Well, let me get away from you, Mr. Spider. Hold on. We going to the other side. We got spiders and wind blowing. Yeah, we going to the other side. Yeah, we gonna go to the other side and continue our reading. Are we fine?
Yeah, we are fine.
Okay.
So I had my breakfast. Now I'm done.
Now you're done?
Yeah.
What, you go home?
I'm not going home until 5.
Oh, okay, okay.
Until 5. So guys, please give me my breakfast.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm feeling very, very hungry.
You're very, very hungry?
Yeah.
Okay, well, give me just a second and let me see what I can do.
Okay.
Okay. Get that baby some breakfast. She's very, very hungry. Very, very. Gotta make sure them baby eat. Oh, see her clothes. See her clothes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's get back. My bad, y'all. We're on the other side now. Let's get back. Let's see. Imagine such a mind. Yeah, man. Imagine such a mind. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Also, bear in mind that he had this type of mind all his life. He discovered the possibility of evil very early in life, when he learned about the tensions of opposites. As the story has been told before, he was playing with magnets as a young child when this revelation came to him. he discovered the opposite polarities of a magnet. Given his great intelligence, it did not take long for him to realize that this tension of polarities also exists in people. As he progressed in his studies, and all his teachers were greatly impressed by his unusual intelligence. Unusual because remember, he was one of the new people, the majority of whom had their native intelligence corrupted by self isolation for 44 millennia before the time of Yakub. As he studied further, especially when he went into the study of genetics, he discovered that the bodies of his ancient ancestors had a genetic perfection that naturally suppressed the emergence of this tension of polarities. He discovered that their genetic structure was so perfect that the tension he observed in the negative and positive poles of a magnet could not manifest at all in the negative and positives of their genes. The positive poles of their procreative genes, the black germ, was in total a complete dominance over the negative pole, the light and recessive germ. The negative pole had no opportunity of ever manifesting in their bodies. He thus came to the conclusion that it was because of this suppression of the negative by the positive that gave good its power over evil and caused peace to prevail over chaos throughout all past eternity. He reasoned that if the negative polarity could be given just as much leeway as the positive, then the recessive light germ would rule the dominant dark germ forever. All of these conclusions he reached before he was 21 years old. He was only 16 when he and his soulmate and their followers migrated to the island to begin their mission. He was a true child prodigy and a born leader with a natural charisma and incredible sense of power, as well as a natural gift at oratory, oratory, oratory and logic. That was the type of mind that existed in this God. So he decided in his mind that he was going to become the new God, the one that will overthrow the God of eternity, the God of goodness. Oh man. It was in this state of mind that he went to Pelon, aka Patmos, to breed a new race of people that would rule us. And he would be their God, thus making him the God of the whole universe, because his creatures will conquer all black people. When you have a mind such as his, completely saturated with this thought and living at a time when we no longer have the benefit of the seven great rituals of the black nation, then it is inevitable that you will continue along that path indefinitely. Your view of reality is circumcised, being overshadowed by your intense desire to prove your point. And the intensity of his desire was so strong that nothing on earth could turn it around. For it to be turned around, he had to go off our earth and be exposed to another point of view, one that he could not know here on earth because of the conditions of self forgetfulness. It was for this reason that he had to live on Sirius, a perfect earth and society that his ancestors had known here ages before he was born. Only in that way could he be exposed to a vaster reality than that which had saturated his mind all his life. But this exposure to a larger world view had to wait until he had exhausted all the possibilities of his mind. In other words, he had to live a full life on earth with complete freedom to finish his mission. God loves all black people the same because we are all the incarnation of God. There is no possibility that any black person will go astray so far that he could become irretrievable. This was the direction that Yaqub was headed in, and the elders knew his only salvation lay outside of our earth, back at the home of our original ancestors. Yeah, that's his only rehab. His only rehab. Oh man. Here on earth would experience a lifetime full of the possibilities of evil and sin, and on Sirius he would experience a lifetime of the power of love and goodness. Then and only then could he come to a fair conclusion about which system of life was superior. That is why he and the rest of Elohim went to Sirius. This brings me to the other important part of your question. Why did they have to occupy the bodies of the gods of Sirius? Why could they not occupy the bodies of resurrection of the 144,000, then travel to Sirius? The reason has to do with the power of the mind over the body. The thoughts that Yaqub and his followers had in their minds that led them to make the evil races had the power to negatively influence their bodies to such an extent that they could take this influence into the bodies of resurrection. Oh man. Their ideas were so powerful at that time, they had the full initial momentum of the 6,000 years that were to come.